Believe it or not, when she stops calling, stops texting, stops checking in, it doesn't always mean she's over you. It doesn't always mean she's found someone else. Sometimes the silence says more than the words ever could. But most men don't know how to read the quiet. They panic. They chase. They spiral. And, in doing so, they lose her and themselves. So, what does it really mean when she pulls back with silence? Let's talk about it. Not from emotion, but from Stoic clarity. You check your phone, nothing. You go over your last conversation. Still nothing. No texts. No calls, no signs. And your mind starts racing. Did I mess up? Is she playing games? Is this over? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not all silence is rejection. Not all distance is disinterest. And not all absence is the end of love. Sometimes when a woman goes silent, she's not trying to leave you. She's trying to find herself. And if you don't understand what her silence truly means, you'll respond the wrong way with fear, with neediness, with noise. And that is what drives her away. So today, we break down 7 reasons why she may not be texting or calling you anymore, and how a grounded Stoic man should respond with power, not panic. 1. She's waiting to feel safe again. Her silence may not be anger. It may be protection. If something you said or did triggered old wounds, her first instinct is to retreat, not to punish, but to recalibrate. She's asking herself, can I trust him with my emotions? Is it safe to be vulnerable with him again? This is not the time to bombard her with apologies or beg for replies. This is the time to respect the pause, to be still, and let her come back on her own terms. A woman in reflection needs space, not pressure. And if you give her that, she'll notice your strength, not your absence. 2. She's testing your emotional stability. Let's be honest. Many women have experienced inconsistency. One wrong word and suddenly a man unravels. So when she goes silent, she's not just disappearing. She's observing. She wants to know, can he hold his ground when I pull back? Will he stay composed or will he collapse into neediness? This is a subconscious test of your emotional frame. If you respond with endless texts, accusations, or panic, you fail. But if you respond with peace, with focus, with detachment, you pass with distinction. The Stoic man doesn't demand connection. He invites it. And that quiet strength is irresistible. 3. She's processing her own emotions. Some women don't communicate through words. They communicate through silence. Not to be cruel, but because they don't yet understand what they feel. Maybe she's hurt. Maybe she's confused. Maybe she's trying to figure out what this connection actually means. And if she hasn't reached clarity, she won't speak. Because what she doesn't want to do is lie. You rushing in won't help her process faster. In fact, it slows it down. She needs silence not as a punishment, but as a cocoon. Let her go quiet. Let her figure it out. And when she's ready, she'll re-emerge clearer than before. 4. She wants to see if you'll chase. Here's a hard truth. If she's used to men who chase, after the first moment of distance, she might test you without even knowing it. She wants to know, is he grounded in himself or is his confidence built on my attention? The man who instantly panics when her texts slow down, who sends 10 messages in a row, who asks if she's still interested, loses his masculine edge. But the man who remains focused on his life, on his purpose, on his path, that man becomes a mystery, a calm in her storm, and that calmness draws her back stronger. 5. She's battling her own demons. Sometimes her silence has nothing to do with you. She's dealing with life, work stress, family pressure, mental burnout, and the thought of communicating, of being present for someone else feels heavy. In those moments, what she needs most is understanding, not interrogation. If you take her silence personally, you create distance. But if you respond with stillness, you create safety. Send her a message of reassurance once, then step back. She'll remember how you didn't demand her energy when she had none to give, and that memory will matter more than any good morning text. 6. She's unsure about the relationship. Yes, it's possible. Her silence could mean she's unsure about you. But even here, the worst thing you can do is panic. Because, if you try to force clarity from someone who's still figuring it out, you look insecure. And insecurity confirms her doubts. Let her be uncertain. Let her explore her thoughts. You don't need to chase her clarity. You need to protect your own. If she's unsure and you remain calm, composed, and steady, you show her what certainty looks like. And that contrast might be the very thing that draws her back. 7. She's already letting go. Now, let's face the most difficult possibility. Sometimes when a woman stops calling or texting, she's already emotionally checked out. But here's the thing. If she's drifting away, no amount of chasing will bring her back. Only your absence can remind her of your value. Only your strength, not your begging, can spark respect. Again, the Stoic response is this: accept what is. Let go with dignity and never trade your self-worth for someone else's indecision. You are not here to convince anyone to stay. You are here to stand firm in your value and let others rise to meet it. She may not say a word. She may not type a sentence. But her silence is still communication. And your reaction to it defines everything. Most men fear silence, but the Stoic man uses it. He leans into it. He listens deeper. Because within the quiet, there's truth. Not always the truth you want, but the truth you need. So next time she doesn't text, don't chase, don't beg, don't overthink. Observe, reflect, recenter. And remember, silence isn't always the end. Sometimes it's just the space love needs to breathe.